Hey guys, WestCoastArachnids. Just doing a little maintenance, and hopefully you can still hear that. This is my Brachypelma vagans. I've lost the top of the lid, so that's not on the lid. It's Brachypelma vagans number 1. I was just going to give her a feed and check her water. Water's dry. And she is molted. I say she because I'm pretty sure all of my Brachypelma vagans are female. I've sexed all the molts so far that have come up, and sure enough, we're gonna do a double check, see if we can get a sex off this molt. I got some warm soapy water here. I'm just gonna take this molt. I mean, it would look as if that's all dried and crusted out, but that'll open up just fine. So I just stick it in the warm water like that. Nice crunch, it's dry, so you know she's molted more than 24 hours ago. Usually it takes about 24 hours for the molt to dry like that. Without disturbing her too much. Just want to try and get some of this stuff out of her bowl, water dish, and give her some water. Now I just use, I'll use distilled water sometimes, but it's not recommended to use distilled water. There's nothing in there. Like right away she's going in there for a drink. She's noticed the stuff spilled on the ground, but I think she's felt the stuff in her dish now, and she's going to go for that. Let's give it a little splash and get her going on that. I can't see her fangs. She's just beautiful. Let me see if I can find my other light, which I seem to have misplaced. Over here on the ground. Yeah, those are my feet. I have done a camera reveal, people. And she's just beautiful. She's going in for a good drink now. See if we can get some of that red. What I'll do is I don't like putting this camera down anymore. Too many mishaps with it, but I will put it up against this because it's safe. And let's just take you all down there. A closer look. Not sure how well you can see her. You can kind of see the red there. Man, I hate this camera. It's just so dark. I could have lights an inch away from her and you still wouldn't see it clearly. Well, it's clear, but it's just not as lit up as I'd want it. Okay. So we're gonna give her a good drink. Now with water, like I was saying, sometimes I use distilled water. That's only if I don't have any aged water, and by aged I mean I just take it out of the tap. I'll put it in a container, plastic container, not metal. That's important. And I'll let it sit for a good 3 days to get the chlorine to evaporate out of it and whatnot. But you want to leave the minerals in there. One thing that has been a bit of a controversy is a lot of places the water companies will put hormones into the water, and other places you'll get things like hormones and stuff from, just trying to get the boluses out of there without disturbing her too much. You get hormones and all kinds of different things, chemicals from runoff from farms and whatnot around the area, or if they spray the bushes, you know, it comes running off the mountain. But generally by the time it gets to the rivers and whatever, it's filtered through the land a little bit, and then that's why they just lace the water with chemicals when it's processed for drinking water to come through your taps. So it's a good idea, let it sit for 3 or 4 days before you actually give it to your tea. I just hope my sound's coming through there okay. I'm going to move this back a bit. My mic is kind of sitting right on the edge of where my camera is, so there's a little bar there, and I'm just trying to make sure it's not covered up. So what I'll do, once it's soaked a little bit, you can see that it's soaked in. It's kind of pliable. I'll just pick up the front legs, like so, get it right in half, lift it out of the water. Oops, I don't want any of that water going in with the spider. I mean, I'm sure it won't kill her, a couple of drops, but you never know. And then I'll just lay it down on a lid like this. So I'm going to pause you while I do this. I'm going to get it set up, and then we'll get a sex off it. Okay. I actually have a little bit of a setup I do now. I used to put a magnifying glass in front of it so that you could see, but now I actually have the elastic bands holding the magnifying glass onto my Samsung itself like this. I'll just place it over the camera and then put a couple elastics right around the whole tablet, just to magnify it a little bit. So we got to get some lighting down here. Well, my lighting was up on top. So I was in here earlier feeding all my teas, and man, did I get a nose full of hair. My lungs are just raw right now. So what I'll do, when I'm sexing a tea, I'll take a couple of toothpicks and I'll blunt the ends, just blunt them off so they're not too sharp. Remove any stick particles that may splinter off the ends. You don't want to slam it too hard on the table, but I just got to reposition, sorry. Now, around where the tea molts, where the inside of the legs are, there's going to be just a little lip. I like to grab that here near the back end. It'll help you unfold the abdomen, because that skin connects around here like this, just a little flap of skin-like material, and it connects onto the back of the abdomen here, and it allows you to pull it open. I mean, that's not its intended use, I'm sure. Yep, it's starting to tear already. That's okay. We don't mind if the back end comes off. This is the part we want here. And you can see very clearly the book lungs. Those little white dots there, those 4 white dots, there's one there, one there, one there, and one there. Those are the book lungs. There's little slits there. Little slits in each one of them that allow air to come through. And that's how they breathe, through their bottom of their abdomen. Now, the way you sex a tea, the way I do it is usually get a light source. I don't want to blare this in your guys' eyes, but I have to put it on in a way that I can do this. And then I'll place it over top like this so that you can see clearly right through the abdomen. And for this purpose, I'm going to have to use probably this. And just, there we go. gives it a good light source underneath is all you need, just a light source. Petri tray, you can get Petri tray dishes that'll work great for this with a standing light source. You can buy them in hobby shops and such that sell little packs of chemistry sets, things like that. Usually we'll have them. Or even a mirror, you know, some of those lit up mirrors work. So what the whole purpose of this is when I put it over that, sorry I had to pick it up here, better to have it in my hand, and right here you have the epigastric furrow. Now if you pull gently down here on the bottom, I don't know if you can notice that, but it opens up. You see that little opening there? That denotes that this is a female. That opening will never be on a male, only on a female species. Not all species have that, of course. There are species that do not have an epigastric furrow. They mate differently. And this now, just gonna pause you here, I gotta grab something. Okay, sorry about that. I had to look for my reading glasses. I don't have bifocals and my glasses don't allow me to see up close, so it's difficult. But I couldn't find them either way, so just going to go on with this. Anyway, I'm going to show you here the spermatheca or spermatheca, if I can. Now, if you look right on the top of this slit, there's going to be two. When I pull this apart, if I can, it's not cooperating with me right now. It wants to fall off of there. This doesn't want to stay. Here, maybe we can do it like that. Right here and here, like there's just two very small but distinct little rabbit ear looking things. They're literally right there in the middle. In between those, I don't know how to even explain that. Not the best setups here. I need to get one of those little trays I was talking about. But if you look, you can see one there and one there. I need my other macro camera so I can take pictures. Anyway, this is definitely a female. 100%. Try and position it in a way you can see. Let's pull the light right up there. See if this makes a difference. Just gonna lay that right on there. Now you can almost see them. Trying to get it so I can pull that down and you can see, but I'm having a hard time. Anyway, you can see the epigastric furrow opening, and right above that, that dark little lip almost, that's where you're going to see the two spermatheca, or spermatheca or spermatheca, however you want to pronounce it. So definitely a female, and I've already sexed the other three. I have I think I have 4 of these, maybe 5 Brachypelma vagans. I started out with 3, and I know I was given at least 1 more. Yeah, I have 4 as a freebie from Tarantula Canada. But there you go. That's the girl. Completely sexed now, 100%. And I've been sitting there, she's been sitting here with the lid off, being a very good girl. Awesome. Don't want to put this out too far. Okay, you guys can see there. Perfect. Awesome. So, I always keep, this girl always gets really thirsty, so she's got 2 little lids in here she goes to, but I'm really going to overflow this a bit here. Get a little bit of moisture going on in there. Now, I generally only do this with a tarantula when they've molted, and she looks a little lethargic, like she's going to go into dehydration. So I'm giving her a little extra of hydration in her enclosure, and that should perk her right up. Dried up poop. Almost time for a complete clean out on this. Anyway, lost all my stuff now. So that's that. Beautiful girl. Big Brachypelma vagans. She's a juvenile adult now. She could actually be bred at this size. She's about 5 inches, I would say. Very healthy looking specimen. Very beautiful. Completely dark now. Carapace is darkened right up. Now, Brachypelma vagans, once they've matured or turn into a juvenile adult, their carapace, when they're younger, tends to have a little bit of lightness around the edges or even in the middle when they're young, slings or just juveniles. But that should go away. Almost 100%. They'll still have a little bit of a tan around it. You can see around the edge there by her leg that there is a little bit of light hair, but it should be directly right on the edge or even under the bottom side of the carapace sticking out and the top part of the leg there. Otherwise, you may have a hybrid or completely different type of Brachypelma. I've seen lots of different Brachypelmas be misidentified and sold as something they're not. And there's a lot of places that do that. Some of them not intentionally, but others they will do it intentionally. So you need to be careful where you buy your teas. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Alright, that's that. Y'all take care, have a great day, and bye for now.